So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you so much for joining. I'd like to seek your good wishes and your blessings so that we can continue with overview of Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto. And yesterday we talked about the demise of Kaliyaman and the glories of Muchukunda. So today we continue with the Bhagavatam 52nd chapter. This is the 43rd verse.
Shangri Pankaja Raja Snapnam Mahanto Vachanti Umapate Ivatmo Tamohapahate Yahi Ambu Jakshana Labye Bhavat Prasadam Jayam Ashun Brata Krishnan Sata Janma Bhisyat. Translation. Lotus side 1. Great souls like Lord Shiva hanker to bathe in the dust of your lotus feet and thereby destroy the ignorance. If I cannot obtain your mercy, I shall simply give up my vital force, which will have become weak from the severe penances I will perform. Then, after hundreds of lifetimes of endeavor, I may obtain your mercy.
This is the glorious prayers of Rukhmini Devi. So today's pastime, we look at different aspects of the Lord's Leela. So let's have a look. This is Rukhmini. The chapter is called Rukhmini's Message to Krishna, Lord Krishna. The chapter describes how Balaram and Krishna, running as if in fear, went to Dwarka. Then Lord Krishna heard the message of Rukhmini from the mouth of a Brahmin and chose her as his wife. First wife. Muchukunda performs austerities. So carrying on from the last chapter, when Muchukunda was blessed by the Lord, he shown mercy by the Lord, offered obeisances, circumambulated him, and then the king left the cave, saw that humans, animals, trees, plants were all smaller than he when he had fallen asleep, because that was in a different age. So he was a lot bigger than they were. From this, he could understand that the age of Kali was at hand. Then, in a mood of detachment from all material association and absorbing his mind in Lord Krishna, he came to Gandhamadan mountain, where the king began worshipping the Supreme Lord Sri Hari by performing austerities. Sri Krishna returned to Mathura, which was still under siege by the barbarian army. He destroyed this army, collected all of the valuables the soldiers had been carrying, and set off for Dwarka. Just then, Janarasan arrived on the scene with a force of 23 Akshauhinis. The Lord Balaram and Lord Krishna, acting as if fearful, left their riches aside and ran far away. So this is one of the most amazing leelas of the Lord. This is the battle with Jarasan. Because Jarasan could not appreciate their true power, he ran after them. After running a long time, Ram and Krishna came to a mountain named Pravasana Shana and proceeded to climb it. Jarasan thought they had hidden inside a cave. He looked all over for them. Unable to find them, he built fires on all sides of the mountain. As the vegetation on the mountain slopes burst into flames, Krishna and Balaram jumped off the peak. After reaching the ground unseen by Jarasan and his followers, they returned to Dwarka, which floated within the sea. Jarasan, moreover, mistakenly thought that the Balaram and Keshav had burned to death in the fire. Thus he withdrew his vast military force and returned to the Magad kingdom. So this is the pastime of Ranchor, where he's famous as running away from the battlefield. So quite extraordinary Leela. Why did the Lord run away? Well, many reasons. He wanted to leave Jarasan to be disposed of by Bhim later on. It wasn't time for Jarasan yet to die. Many reasons why he ran away from Jarasan. He had defeated him 17 times already. So it wasn't a question of being scared of him. And why would the Lord be scared of anyone anyway? He's the Supreme Lord. But this is his Leela, part of his Leela. So we accept that. Any questions on that? Any questions on this? Because it is quite a challenging area to understand. Okay. At this point, Parikshit Maharaj asked a question. As Sukadeva Goswami, he stated that Krishna married Rukhmini. So Sukadeva responded by beginning to narrate the history of the marriage of Lord Krishna and Rukhmini. Rukhmini, the young daughter of Bhishmaka, king of Vidarbha, had heard of Krishna's beauty, strength, and other fine qualities. And she therefore made up her mind that he would be the perfect husband for her. So whenever sages came to the place of Bhishmaka, they would glorify Krishna, and Rukhmini would hear these glorifications. She fell in love just by hearing about Krishna. And somehow or other, Krishna also wanted to marry her. He is in everybody's heart. He knows everybody's heart. And moreover, Rukhmini is an incarnation or a part incarnation of Radharani. So they have a close relationship anyway. But although Rukhmini's other relatives approved of her marriage to Krishna, including her father, he was really happy. But the brother, Rukhmi, he was unfortunately envious of the Lord, and thus he controlled the family actually, and he forbade Rukhmini to marry him. Now Rukhmi wanted to marry her to Shishupal instead. He wanted to make that alliance stronger with Shishupal and Jarasan. So his motives were political, whereas Rukhmini's motives were devotional. Rukhmini unhappily took up the duties in preparation for the marriage with Shishupal, but she also sent a trustworthy Brahmin to Krishna with a letter. Unheard of. But she wrote to Krishna. She was desperate. She sent a letter to Krishna. When the Brahmin arrived in Dwarka, as Krishna properly honored him, just as he himself is worshipped by the demigods. So this is the amazing thing about the Lord's behavior. He's so humble. He always affords the respect due to the appropriate party. So the Brahmin comes in front of him. He worships him. He feeds him. After the Brahmin had eaten and rested, Krishna, while massaging the Brahmin's feet with his own hands, glorifies those Brahmins who are satisfied with their lot. Saintly, prideless, and peaceful, they are the best well-wishers of all living beings. Krishna then asked the Brahmin why he had come. So, see, Krishna really pays great respect to this Varnashram system which he created in the first place. And especially the Brahmins. Namo Brahmaya Devaya Go Brahmanitaya Chakaditaya Krishna Govindaya Namo Namaha. So he offers his obeisances to the Brahmin. Thus questioned by Krishna, the Brahmin told him everything. Then the Brahmin opened Rukhmini's letter and showed it to Krishna. So actually, should read. I think Karuna sung this, right? Last time. Karuna, would you like to, maybe tomorrow or today, if you like, to sing this letter written by Rukhmini to Krishna? When would you like to do it?
Hey, Prabhu. Anytime I can do it today or tomorrow. Anytime.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it today. Let's do it.
Okay.
Because we're doing it at the right time. Okay. So Rukhmini wrote, ever since I have heard about your qualities, my Lord, I have become completely attracted to you. I have fixed my shameless mind upon you, O Krishna. I have chosen you as my husband, and I surrender myself to you. Without fail, please come before my marriage to Shishupal. Take me away. Please come swiftly, O Almighty One, and make me your wife. My dear lotus-eyed Lord, let Shishupal never touch the hero's portion like a jackal stealing the property of a lion. In accordance with family custom, on the day before my marriage, I will visit the temple of goddess Ambika. So she gives him a very strong hint when to come. That would be the best opportunity for you to appear and easily kidnap me. If you do not show me this favor, I will give up my life by fasting and observing severe vows. Then perhaps after hundreds of lifetimes of endeavor, I will be able to obtain you. So after this, the Brahmin stopped and waited for the Lord's reaction. Very, very nice prayer, very nice appeal to the Lord to marry her. So, Karuna, we have it here if you like.
Prabhu.
Okay.
I'll give you 1 minute. I get a tune for it.
Oh, yeah, of course. Please, yeah. I'll just stop the recording. Okay.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Rukhmini Uvacha. Shrudva Gunan Bhuvana Sundara Shrimvatam Te Nirvishya Karna Vivare Haratu Angatapam Rupam Drisham Drishimatam Akhilathalabham Tvayachyuta Vishati Chitam Apatapam Me Katva Mukunda Mahati Kulashila Rupa Vidyavayudravina Dhamapi Atmatulyam Dhirapatim Kulavati Navrinita Kalendri Singha Naralokamano Dhiramam Tanme Bhavan Khalu Vrita Patirangajayam Atmarpitascha Bhavato Vibho Videhi Mavira Bhagamabhimarshatu Chaidyara Gomayuvan Mrigapate बलिमभुजाक्ष पुरुतेष्ट दत्तनियम व्रतदेव विप्र गुरुवचनाधिफलम् भगवान् परेशा आराधितो यदि गदाग्रजैत्यपानिम् गृह्णातु मे न तमोकुश सुतादयोन्ये शोभाविनी त्वमजितो द्वहने विदर्भान् गुप्तः समेत्य प्रीतना प्रतिविपरीतः निरमत्य चैद्यमगधेन्द्रबलं प्रतय मां राक्षसेन विधिनो द्वः वीर्यशूल्का अन्तः पुरान्तर चरिमणिहत्य बन्धून् त्वामुद्वहे कथमिति प्रवदाम्युपायम् पूर्वे दूरस्ति महति कुलदेवयात्रा यस्यां बहिर्नववधूर्गिरिजाम् उपेयात् यस्याङ्घ्रि पङ्कजरजस्नपनं महान्तो वाञ्छ्युत्युमपतिरिवात्मतमुपहत्ये यम्बुजाक्षनलभेय भवत्प्रसादम् जहयाम शृण्व्रत कृशाशत जन्मभीष्या श्री रुक्मिणी देवी की जय।
Jai.
Thank you, Karuna, for that.
Thank you so much. Fantastic. So any questions, any comments, please, on this incredible chapter, actually. Just before we go to the instructions. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Prabhu, Nitai.
Oh
Gaur
yes,
Prabhu.
Prabhu, good. Give us some nectar. Share some nectar.
Hare Krishna, yes, I've got a prayer from Sri Muchukunda Prabhu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he says, Sadripu tadi tasya santi hinasya swanatha charanasrayam eva abhayaso kamrita pradam chiram iha vrijinarthastapya nutaper avitrissa sad amitro labdha shanti katanchit sharanada samupetastvат padam jam paratman abhayam ritam ashokam pahi ma panamisha Sri Muchukundasya. Translation: for the disturbed soul who is flogged by his 6 enemies, only the shelter of the lotus feet of his natural master, Krishna, awards him immortality in fearlessness and sorrowlessness. O Supreme Soul, for time immemorial in this material world, I have been tormented with sin, stung with remorse, and constantly harassed by my 6 insatiable enemies, the 5 senses and the mind. O gracious awarder of shelter, somehow I have come before your holy lotus feet, which are the embodiment of fearlessness, sorrowlessness, and positive immortality. My master, please protect this one distressed. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhu. This was from Muchukunda Prabhu.
And
Hare Krishna.
where did you get that?
This verse is compiled in Prapana Jivanamitam by our Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Rakshak Dharadev Goswami Maharaj. It comes under, this prayer is under embracing the Lord's guardianship, to accept the Lord, is Saranagati, to accept the Lord as our guardian. So under this heading, this prayer was quoted by Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Rakshak Dharadev Goswami Maharaj. It's recorded in Prapana Jivanamitam, the book. Yes, yes, very nice.
Thank you. Because yesterday we read all the different what Muchukunda was saying about his lamentation. Yeah, his lamentation and his prayers, really deep prayers actually.
Yeah,
deep lamentation.
A great devotee is fully surrendered to Krishna.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there is another prayer, but already this prayer by Rukhmini Devi, it's already when Karuna Bandhar Didi was singing, so I found this verse in among the list of the prayers sung by Rukhmini Devi. So it comes, and this prayer by Rukhmini Devi, this verse appears in the Prapana Jivanamitam under the title of full self-surrender. So Rukhmini Devi, she practiced this Saranagati, full Atma Nikshepana. Atma Nivedana, same thing, two different way of expressing Atma Nivedana or Atma Nikshepana. So full self-surrender. So it is said in the scriptures, if we practice a full self-surrender and practice humility, this way we can overcome anything troublesome in our life. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Prabhu. Thank you very much. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you so much.
Thank you.
And this is a little idea of the letter being read by Shri Krishna. Okay, Madhusun Prabhu.
Jai Haribol, Hare Krishna. Yeah, that was wonderful actually. These pastimes, both of Muchukunda, when he realizes that he actually Kali Yuga has started, almost. When he starts seeing all these people are small, plants are small, he must be a giant.
Yeah.
Or whatever, not going compared. And then obviously he must have slept for a very long time as well. But Krishna then somehow, frees him from his sleep by this arrangement of sending this Kalyavan in front of him. And then amazingly gets disintegrated as well by his glance. So it's amazing pastimes, but how this is all arranged by the Supreme Lord. And then obviously Rukhmini, her brother obviously would have forced her to get married to Shishupal. And that somehow, this idea of forced marriages and all that. But then there is something like this Rakshasa wedding, which by kidnapping and all that, that's kind of must, obviously happen as such in the Rakshasa kind of demoniac way. In the Yavanas, and that's what these Vikings and all that used to do, didn't they? They would plunder everything, and then they would take away the women wealth and distribute it amongst themselves. So some cultures are like that, demoniac, but Krishna doesn't obviously advocate that. But so anyway, the instructions, chapter 52, then in this chapter, Krishna's transcendental pastimes become unconventional and contradictory actually, because he runs away from Jarasandha in the battle and then marries Rukhmini by kidnapping her by her own desire. So this was desire of Rukhmini anyway, so he doesn't actually break any kind of rules. He just avoids fighting with Jarasandha, that's it. He doesn't want to, so I don't want to, not yet anyway, his time will come, but for now, Krishna just runs away. And in some parts of Gujarat, there's our community. They worship Krishna as a Ranchod Rai, Ranchod Rai. Yeah. So the purport further explains actually that these pastimes are not whimsical, but as a part of a complex program structured and executed by the Lord himself for awakening the conditioned souls to their natural love and devotion for him and bring them back to Godhead. So like even Kalyavan gets freed from his kind of desire and discreate. Also Muchkunda, he gets freed from this deep sleep, and otherwise he would have got tangled up in this material. So somehow he wants to bring them condition and awaken them. So that's one way of Krishna doing all these pastimes, but they're all transcendental pastimes. And we as devotees, just accept them, that they're Lord's pastimes. But some may actually quite contradictorily, go against Krishna. And so, yeah, amazing. Thank you. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Okay, so unless there's any comments or questions, we can go to Nishina.
One question, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Whoever gets killed by Krishna, or whoever Krishna kills, they get liberated or they get moksha.
Yes.
But I read somewhere that Shishupal didn't get it. Is it true, or I may be wrong?
Shishupal, he entered the body of the Lord. No, but Shishupal is non-different from Jay or Vijay.
Okay.
So they ultimately would regain their original constitutional position.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But the way he left was he merged into Krishna's body. But then when they would, he would be returned back to the spiritual world.
He does return. Okay.
Oh, yeah. He has to.
I thought there was one person who doesn't return, but I may be wrong in that.
Generally, they do. There may be
Yes.
some situations, for sure, that are special, different cases. It's not every single demon will go back. But generally, they do, because the Lord's touch.
So I may be wrong. Okay.
Yeah, his touch is purifying.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Nana. Okay, thank you so much, everybody.
Haribo?
Oh, yes.
Just one point.
Yes.
So in that regard, I can see that, even Muchkunda, Krishna actually, obviously, he sees Krishna. Muchkunda actually circumambulates the Lord and everything, pays him obeisance. But Krishna tells him that because you have fought so many demons, and the reactions, so you have to go through penances. He doesn't just give him liberation all straight away there and there, as you might expect, but he actually has to go through another lifetime as a very good Brahman. So that's interesting, actually, that he has to perform some penances for his sinful reactions of fighting as a Kshatriya, having hunted and then lived as a life as a Kshatriya. So
yes.
So although he's a Kshatriya, he has incurred kind of reactions to his deeds.
Yeah.
But the Lord makes it less burdensome for him, I think, and gives him a life of a Brahman, and then later on goes on to serve Krishna in his pastime. So how Krishna wants to engage different personalities and his associate in his pastimes, it's really up to him, isn't it? We may desire, but also for us, whatever Krishna, that's why we say, Krishna, whatever service you want to engage us, dasa dasa dasa. So in that way, we're in that mood all the time. Yeah, thank you.
That's good. Good point. Thank you so much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.